Hey guys, Loco here with Froggen. Froggen, thank you so much for doing the interview even after a tough loss. What's your overall thoughts on the series?
Mm, I don't know. I felt like it was pretty close. Could really have gone either way. I don't know. I obviously haven't rewatched it, so I just know from my own team's perspective what was going on. But I don't know. I think if we had played better, we could definitely have taken it. But they also played really, really well. So I'm not sure. It's obviously it sucks to lose. So.
So initially you guys came in with a really great poke comp, definitely on Varus, you on Karthus or Vel'Koz, and it was working out really great. One thing that I was kind of curious about was once they started banning out Tahm Kench and Vel'Koz, there's so much other poke champions that I think you'd be great at, Ziggs or Xerath. Is there any reason you didn't go on to a different poke champion?
I don't really think Vel'Koz is a poke champion. It's just, okay, his Q happens to deal a lot of damage, but it's mostly just like, if he ultis in a team fight and it hits people, it's like, well, everyone is dead. I don't really think it's a poke champion, because he's just so damn good at just straight up fighting too. And it's not like we're like, okay, now let's just poke them and win the game. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really think it's about poke. And for lethality virus and unhit, I think it just depends on the lane matchups more. So it's not like we plan out, okay, this should be poke virus. It's just they can win harder in lane and like have really good from early to mid game power spike if they do poke virus. And I think it worked really well. But it might as well have been unhit too if the comp had looked different.
So to be more specific, I thought you did such a great job using terrain in the game itself, like at Baron, hiding behind that terrain while rest of your team is doing Baron, or even at Blue, hiding behind the giant blue wall while your team is fighting near like that dragon choke. So they could never get to you when you were playing Vel'Koz, and you were positioning so well. And I was so confused going into Game 5 because I felt like, oh, Golden Guardians has the series in the bag. Froggen is playing way too well. They can't get to Froggen, and he's doing way too much damage. You had insane damage numbers in both your Vel'Koz games. So I was very surprised to see you guys switch priority and go back to Lissandra, Lucian, Braum, which is more of like a team fighting priority comp where you were doing so well with heavy backline. So that's more of my question. Why didn't you continuously play those heavy backline comps?
I think it depends on what bands are and what picks are, because it is too. I mean, you can always put me on like a more damage dealing champion, and I think it's not really ever gonna go super bad. But I think the champions we have, and we go for engage, and then like trying to actually like play out the fight, could have worked pretty well. I think it's pretty hard to execute, especially in a game 5. But I don't really think that's part of, we have to be versatile and be able to do different things. And I don't think we executed super well on it in both game 3 and 5. Actually game 3 we won, I guess, so it's 4 and 5. But we didn't execute on those things super well. And we definitely got punished for that, where we have to be much cleaner, be able to communicate better between each other, be able to get proper flanks and know how we are gonna do team fights. But from where we started, I feel like it's still pretty big improvements, and I definitely think we should have been able to end up with a victory today. But I think anyone that ever loses feels like they should have won. So I don't know. It is pretty sad that we end up losing, because I feel like we finally started to get much better than in the than we were in the start of the split and during the middle of the split.
Your time in North America hasn't been as fruitful as your time in Europe, where you were winning championships and always contending, where in NA sometimes you were in relegations a lot or even struggling to make playoffs. Is this a bright note for you, going forward, making playoffs, going to Game 5? A lot of people had doubts about you coming into this season, myself included, and you proved so much of your haters wrong. What's next? What are you looking forward to next in North America?
I mean, I'm always going to try to win, and I feel like even though we end up losing in the quarterfinals here, it's not really the end of anything. We just have to keep practicing hard, keep on improving, do what we have to do, and then be ready for summer split. I enjoy competing, and I don't really know a reason why I would be done. I think I'm doing pretty well. So, I just want to keep competing. I had a lot of fun in the games today. It felt really, really good to be back. It's just you go on stage and you people are just there to watch you, and you can just enjoy yourself. And like that's pretty cool.
So this might be a tough question, but on a team, not everyone plays at the highest level. Some people might not play at that level quite well, and arguably today your jungler and other parts of the map didn't step up as much as you did. How do you deal with kind of shaky performance from other people on your team?
I think it's much more like we end up in bad situations because our communication definitely got thrown off. Being able to adjust that mid-series and be able to talk about it and stuff is something that's pretty difficult. And I think it's something like both me and Kevin, we have a bunch of experience. Like we have so much damn experience. We should be able to like control that more and be able to talk about it. I don't think we did a good job at readjusting that, because if communication is wonky, and even if we're winning super hard, we like from the communication standpoint, it felt like we had a hard time like closing out the games. Like our turns with our ultis and flashes and stuff were really bad a lot of the time, and we just need to be able to communicate cleaner, and then everyone is gonna look better. It's just like they end up in a really bad scenario because they're the ones playing the champions, and when there's communication that doesn't go well, it's not going to look good on those champions, you know? I think everybody contributed to all the wins, and same thing to all the losses. I mean, we should do it as a team.
Great answer. Can I ask you about TSM and Echo Fox? Who do you have winning there?
I think TSM will easily win that one.
No chance for Echo Fox?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, obviously we have been scrimming teams, and TSM just looks stronger than Echo Fox.
So between the big three, TSM, Team Liquid, Cloud9, who do you think is going to end up winning it all?
I think it's going to be either C9 or TSM, I think, probably in favor of C9.
Any reason?
Just like feel from when we were scrimming them and how they play as a team. I think it's gonna come down to, TSM, they have a lot of experience on the roster too. It's really just a coincidence who's gonna be better on the day, or who has the best strategies prepared, because you can always fish out some wins against certain champions, depending on what's being prioritized in the scrims. So it's really hard to say when it comes to playoffs. Anything can happen, but my gut feeling is that C9 is probably gonna win.
Oh, there was a final question that I forgot to ask. In Game 5, Karthus was open, and you played an incredible Karthus game earlier in the series. Is there any reason why you didn't pick Karthus again in Game 5?
We just felt like Lysander was a good pick, and it's like I'm going to trust that the strategy we have prepared and the champions we want to play is like they're going to be good. So, I mean, it's really just about what we are planning to do as a team. Obviously, it's like I would never really complain about playing Karthus, I think I can play it into anything, and I don't really care too much. But I mean, we could have, like, if we had ended up winning in Game 5, it would not have been about like what if we picked this or what if we did this. We're gonna do what it's like we think is best for the team and what's gonna give us the highest chance of winning, and we're gonna like do it as a team,
Froggen, thank you so much for the interview. Do you have any final words? We won't get to see you until start of summer.
Yeah, thank you guys for the fans that has followed me and Golden Guardians the entire way, even though we started rough. I felt like we gave a pretty good series today. So thank you guys for all the support, and I'll probably be streaming a bit during the break, if we're gonna have a break. I assume so, but it's like I'm gonna be streaming on my days off. So see you guys there.
I hope you guys enjoyed the interview, and don't forget to sub. Hey guys, Loco here. I hope you enjoyed the interview. You've subscribed to me, right? Because that helps me a lot. These interviews aren't cheap. I have to pay the camera guy, the editor. I have to pay for my Uber here. Please subscribe. And also, there's other videos of me you can check out. There should be somewhere around here. Hopefully the editor did his job. All right, bye.